football fans, Gooners, welcome to the post-match Arsenal Burnley edition of the Positively Uncensored Arsenal podcast. I am your host, Shotta, and as usual, my friend and my expert, Blackburn George. How you doing, George?
All right, thanks. After that rousing, swashbuckling display against the mighty Burnley, where we carved them apart with flashing brilliance and interchanging. Oh no,
George,
that was another game I watched.
Your sarcasm it's tearing my heart in two.
Well,
George, that wasn't an easy watch. Let me tell you this before you jump into it. And I was divided when after the game what I should say. And I honestly, I was underwhelmed, but we're missing 4 players. But it seemed to me, George, that this is Arteta all over. It's substance over style. We remember when he joined the team post the little fellow from France. I don't know why his name is not eluding me. But we thought that he would have been pushed up into an attacking midfielder. Wenger made him a defensive midfielder. And it was substance over style. I just thought that this was Arteta's Arsenal. Did you have that impression, or perhaps you have a different first impression of the game?
No, it was mundane, wasn't it?
By the way, George, let people not think that my memory is failing. Nasri, post Fabregas. Go ahead. Yes.
No, it was mundane. It was lackluster. It was efficient.
Yes.
Effective rather than fluent. And I
that
think
is the words that go these are all the words that I said to myself. Efficient, effective. Go ahead, George. Yours.
Well, I think the XG for the season and the XG against for the season confirms what we're saying, really. We don't create a lot of chances, but we don't let other teams create a lot of chances against us, which makes a boring game of football. Now, a lot of people will say they're quite happy with a boring game of football as long as you get 3 points at the end of the day.
That's right.
And people will tell you they want to win the league and this is the way we have to do it. Well, I'm here to tell you, yes, if that would win us the league, I would be happy with it. But it won't win us the league. You can't play like that consistently, not create that many chances. I mean, we were playing Burnley, for fuck's sake.
That's what got to me. The worst team in the league, and we struggled so much in the first half, in particular. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I suppose you can say, "Oh yeah, well, we were short of Jesus and Martin Odegaard." But let's be honest, we had Trossard instead of Jesus, and he creates and scores more than Jesus does. So it's hardly a great big loss in reality. Jesus isn't a traditional number 9. He's more of a false 9. So is Trossard. I don't really think it's a big miss putting him in the middle instead of Jesus. Odegaard missing. If he played like he was last season, that's a miss.
Yes.
People will tell you Partey's missing. I don't think he is missing. I think he's been replaced by Declan Rice.
So do I, by the way.
And
Jorginho is the sitting.
Jorginho's a sitting player.
DM.
No, but I think if Odegaard was fit, Jorginho would be out. Declan Rice would be playing there. And Odegaard will be playing with Kai fucking Havertz.
George, I
think that's the plan.
Right. And you know what, George? Just to interrupt you, I didn't want to post anything negative. But The question I want to ask you and the audience is Kai Havertz an Arsenal player?
Well, we paid £65 million for him, so he fucking well better have be.
You know what I mean? You know, we used to
No,
have this.
obviously he's not showing anything like what's required to move us forward. I mean, you're placing Granit Xhaka, you're replacing Granit Xhaka with him, and it's a massive step back, massive. And I said at the time I didn't think it would work. I hoped it did. I hoped it would prove us wrong. But it's proving to be the case. He's not up to the job. And people will say, oh, it's only 10 games. It's not. It's 3 years at Chelsea and 10 games.
Yes,
so
and
I don't know where we go with him from here, because if you don't play him, what's your alternative? Emil Smith-Rowe is never fit enough to play more than 5 minutes at once. Vieira's still not showing that he has everything that's required at this level, physically and development-wise. But Havertz certainly does. So we have a hole there that we have a square hole and no pegs to put in. We don't even have a round peg to put in it.
Getting your metaphors mixed up there, George, but I get you. George, to bear out what you and I have been saying, I have this stats from Sofa Score. I'm not going to go to the PL because it shows, superficial. But look at this. I hope I got it right. Yes. This is from Sofa Score. I'm sure you're seeing expected goals despite our dominance of 64% ball possession. The expected goals, the EG is only 1.95. Unexpected assists 1.36. Well, when you're having Kai Havertz and Jorginho as your creative, I said he was DM, but Jorginho was more like a box to box actually. You're not going to have an exciting game of football, George. What do you think? You did say it already, but what does the stats mean to you?
Well, the stats just bear out what I'm saying. That I don't think this is an anomaly. I think this is what what his vision is.
Mm-hmm. Arteta.
Yeah, I don't. And to be fair to him, I'm sure he would like to play at Manchester City, like Manchester City, and all we would need to do that is a better 11 players. That's the problem. You can't expect us to play like Manchester City with the players that we have. And some of them are good players. Some of them are very good players. But we're not at the level where we can start playing like them. So he has to find another way. Playing as we did last season, we had Granit Xhaka. We can't replicate that again because we haven't got him now. So I suppose at the end of the day, we're sitting in second place in the league and he's found a way. And I think if we end the season in second place, that's going to be a huge achievement because nobody's beating Manchester City.
It doesn't appear so, but people will say, go ahead.
What we're competing with is Liverpool, Spurs, and Newcastle, I don't know.
To come second.
For second place. I know people don't want to hear that. They want to think that we've got a chance. And we have got a chance in as much as stranger things have happened. But they don't happen very often. So,
to further bear out our concern, because people are going to say that we are.
But let's be fair here. That it's not particularly a concern. It's what we're seeing and accepting as well. I don't expect much better because what else can he do? Who can he put in? He's bought Havertz. Yeah. It's clearly not working. I don't think it will work. We hope it does, but I don't think it will. So what can he do? At this stage, we've got, before the January window even opens, what can we do? Who do we play?
George, why did we check Havertz over Madison? We were saying we wanted two players in every position. I mean, I guess might be Madison and his agent were getting more money at Spurs, but 65 million, how much more money did Spurs pay for Madison? I don't know, George. Because Odegaard, that was a risk to leave Odegaard as the sole creator. I mean,
and again, if you don't mind me saying so, he's not actually a prolific creator, is he? He's more of a controller of midfield than a creator from midfield.
Right.
He has his moments, and he's scored quite a good number of goals last season. But I mean, he's not Mesut Ozil. He's not Cesc Fabregas. Let's not pretend that he is.
Yeah. Okay, George. To further add to our concern, I'm going to also from SofaScore. Then the commentators on my side focus a lot on this, and it's not in this statistics, but 19 long balls, or 45 long balls, 19 out of them successful. But the statistic that my commentators on my feed emphasized was the crosses, and it was like we're playing against Dracula. From both sides. And finally, it was successful when Trossard scored towards the end of the first half. What do you think of this particular set of stats?
Well, again, it reflects our inability to play through the centre, doesn't it?
Yes.
What you want Saka and Martinelli to beat everybody and score a goal with 1-2s in the box. What else can they do? But the problem is they're crossing it to midgets.
Yes.
And people, apart from Kai Havertz, who, despite people telling me how good he is in the air, is fucking useless in the air when it comes to heading it towards the goal.
Right, he got a perfect chance there, George. And he fluffed his lines. I mean, he just need to plant that. That's for a professional footballer. He needs to plant that. He need to be on target.
And it's not just not on target. It's nowhere near the fucking target. And I feel sorry for him because it must be a mental block. As that ball's coming in towards him, he must think, oh, fucking shit, I'm going to look a cock here. And that's exactly what he does. He looks an absolute cock. But he's not. He's a good player. We know he's a good player. I don't think he's ever been a great player, but we know he's a lot better than what he's showing us now. And that can only be a mental thing. And until something goes right for him, I mean, he's had the pity fuck penalty that we gave him.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. I remember that one. And if you had missed it, I thought it.
Oh, you weren't in favour of that, were
you? No. I was like, Jesus, why put him on the line?
Well, this could make things a lot worse if he misses this.
Yes. And it's no surprise, George, that he was hauled off on the 60th minute. He was ineffective.
Yeah. But, there are people who'll tell you that he had a good game.
Oh, there's a partisan of him on our feed. Nothing that Kai does. It's like he doesn't get enough opportunities. He's gotten a lot of opportunities.
But we also have to be careful.
Yes.
That we don't crucify him simply because he used to play for Chelsea.
No, I don't think I am.
I see that a lot on Twitter, that useless Chelsea rejects and all, like William and whoever else it is that we bought from Chelsea. But the fact of the matter is, he's been fucking awful up to now. I mean, he's not even been poor. He's been awful. And Mikel said this right at the beginning. He's giving himself a problem because he's paid £65 million for him. And you can't just write that off because it's a reflection on him. And if you criticise him on Twitter, you criticise Havertz on Twitter, people think you're attacking Arteta, which indirectly you are. So
yes, you can. Well,
difficult situation for everybody, not least of all poor Kai Havertz, because I'm sure he doesn't want to be playing like this. I'm sure he wants to enjoy playing football, and he can't be enjoying it playing like this. It's awful.
George,
really, on another note, though, we're doing remarkably well to be playing with, to be where we are, playing with him in the team every week.
Yes, and that is why I said substance, because at the end of the day, peppering them in these corners, I don't have the corner stats, but they never look comfortable. And Saliba went leapt up for it, like on an unchallenged corner. I was like, Jesus Christ. And Trossard's across. Well, he went really challenged bravely. And even the goal by Zinchenko, it was a corner, came back off the bar, and George described it for me because you did martial arts. They're saying it's that karate kick. I don't. It validated, and he like, what kind of kick was that?
I think he was trying to. It was like something off the Karate Kid, wasn't it?
Yes.
Flamingo kick at the end. But I think he was trying to channel his inner Robin van Persie with that.
Yes.
But then again, you see, look at it. We scored 3 goals, 2 of them from set pieces. Yeah. We've scored more set pieces than any other team in the league. And
50% of our goals, George. Exactly, the commentators. 50% of the goals, and you can.
Well,
2 of them yesterday was really set pieces.
That's piss poor, really, isn't it? That's Big Sam, isn't it?
That is.
It is.
That's Stoke City football, George.
Be solid at the back. Allow your front 3 a bit of leeway to do what they want when you occasionally punt the ball forward to them. And concentrate on set pieces. This is straight out the Big Sam textbook.
And Stoke City under
Pulis.
On a Pulis. And he took them down because they just couldn't score. And George, the thing that went through my mind, and guys, I'm not being negative. You're going to be up against teams that are not going to give you those corners that easily. The poor old. I was looking. This is the first time I've seen Burnley. And against the company, you got a group of young players, and they won the championship last year, but they have a long way to go. They will get better.
I swear, though, that Martinelli, he'll always get us a lot of corners.
Yes.
Because I think he's fucking playing for them, because his crosses and his cutbacks into the box are useless. So a corner's the best you can expect of him. And the odd goal.
Yes.
He looks absolutely unbelievably good with the ball at his feet, coming down the wing, cutting in and taking players on until he delivers the final ball. Long John Silver could put a better ball into the middle than he does.
He was blind, George, and 1 foot.
And 1 leg.
And 1 legged, that's all I want to say. Oh, my God. You're killing me this morning.
It's not easy. It's not easy. But what can you do? Points-wise, we're all right. Like I say, we're second. I think are we 4 points worse off than we were this time last season? Though?
I didn't look into that, but I'll take your word for it.
So I don't know. It seems a bit harsh to be sitting in second place. We've won again, and we're complaining. But you look at the result against Newcastle, we didn't score. We cried and cried and cried about them stealing off us.
Yes.
Which they did. The points should have been shared. But what? 1 shot on goal.
Target, yes.
1 shot on target. Cracking hell, that's dire stuff, isn't it? That's the sort of stats that we laugh at other teams. If another team has stats like that, we laugh at them. We say, imagine going paid to watch these fuckers. 1 shot on goal all fucking game.
Well,
and here we are watching our fuckers 1 shot on goal.
And I saw on Twitter someone's bitterly complaining that people were out in by the 70th, were leaving the 75th, 80th minute, pending. When the last goal was scored, I can't even remember, but they didn't see the third goal. George, I say substance over style because the old gaffer 4 or 5 years ago would have prioritized, would have seen Burnley as an opportunity to turn on the style. Maybe concede a couple of goals. I mean, he had bogey teams, I know. But
yeah, but let's not keep going back to Arsenal because those days have gone. We're not going to see that type of football again.
Yes.
And although we want to,
yes,
it's not happening. So we just, and I keep going back to it. Second in the league, and we can't really complain about that.
Yeah, because it would be crucified. They would say you'd be competing. Sorry, we'd be competing for fourth at this time under his. That's why people would beat us up. Why you?
And people will say the same thing, won't they? They'll always say 3 points are 3 points. It's the result that matters, and that's what they say when you've played pretty shitty and got a result. And I don't want to be saying that every week. 3 points are 3 points. I want to watch good football. Last year was a revelation for the first 2/3 of the season.
Yes.
We're nowhere near that level. No. Despite spending another £200 million.
By the way, George, before I forget that thought, what role was Tittenberg supposed to play? He impressed me in the Community League, the Community Shield, as I saw.
I don't know. I did think he was going to play at left back, but the way Arteta started the season, I'm not sure he didn't buy him to replace Gabriel.
Really?
Yeah,
because Gabriel should have been gone to Saudi Arabia.
Well, Gabriel wasn't playing at
left centre back.
Well, he wasn't playing at the beginning of the season, was he?
Yes.
And we're even playing Cookie.
Yeah, you can, cool her down.
Hang on. Will you get that fucking dog out of here?
My cat doesn't make a noise, George. Yes, guys. We know how this is. And, cat owners have a lot to be proud of. Remind me, I have to clean the litter box in a few.
So, you see, we've come on here, we're being all negative, and we've won.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and this is the problem. I don't want to be negative. And
no, I don't either. But I don't want to come on spouting a load of bollocks. I see people saying now like, oh, he's got the defence right. He'll be working on the attack next. How many fucking years is this going to take? It's taken us 4 years now, and we're still working on the attack.
Yes. I don't.
Really? When will we have worked on it? When can we see the completed fucking process?
George.
Because this should have been it, Shots. This should have been it because it's entirely 100% his team. Every single one of them, his team. So I don't want to hear any of that process anymore. The process is finished, gone, out the window. It's here now. This is it. And if this is it, this isn't good enough to win the league, which I don't mind because I don't think we can beat Manchester City no matter what he does. They're just a better team than us. They just have better players and, sadly, a better manager. So how are we going to more money? How are we going to beat them? We can't. I don't think we can reasonably expect it to win the league. I think it's out. It's just ridiculous for us to expect to win the league. But you can play better football than we are at the moment. And I know that because we have last year. Last year we played better than this year, and we spent £200 million to go backwards. That's a problem. That is a problem. You cannot keep spending at this rate and not improve. And we've not improved.
Yeah, I mean, we keep saying that week in and Granit Xhaka was big boots to fill. I felt that if you had Madison and Kai Havertz, you choosing Havertz over Madison. I don't know if we did, but that tells a story. You want to shore up defensive midfield rather than
Well,
attacking.
I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Yes.
But everybody I know, everybody I spoke to, could not understand why we were buying Kai Havertz. I didn't know anybody who said, fucking hell, we're in for Havertz.
Yeah.
And then when I did hear we were in for him, I thought we'd be getting him for about 15, 20 million. I did, honestly. I thought, oh, we're in for Havertz. He'll be like 15, 20 million. We'll get him cheap because he's been crap for 3 years. And then I read we're paying 65 million for him.
Yeah.
That's just fucking madness. That's negligence. It's horrible business.
Well, George, Arteta, I don't know, the owners love him, so let's see how this works out. Let's stop mourning, George. Let's get to mourning, George. We used to, you're positively Arsenal. We just don't, but Burnley, for heaven's sake. George, man of the match. I have some, underlying stats, but good old who scored gave Zinchenko man of the match. I thought Trossard was made a difference. And the Telegraph, I didn't bring them up, but I have a graphic. They said Saliba led the way. So these three players, because they all scored goals, what is your thoughts? I mean, it's an eye test, and I think it's a lot, I think, well, I'm not going to say I think. I know that who scored has all supporting data showing his goals, his passing for Zinchenko. But I thought that Trossard came, took over the corner taking, showed that bravery. I favored him. What about you, my friend?
Yeah, I wasn't terribly impressed with Zinchenko, to be honest. He didn't do a lot wrong, but I don't think he was. People said he was controlling the midfield, and well, maybe he was, but there wasn't much competition for him, was there? Burnley,
Not at all. Again, that's a point, George. I mean, he had to come way inside too because nobody was very good on the ball. Good, go ahead.
No, there's no danger of him being needed at left back, was there? It wasn't like he was going to have to constantly switch between midfield and left back. He could just hang around in midfield because Burnley were doing basically nothing. So
the only threat was the only threat was the boy on their left side, Aliosho. And he had two good dribbles. The first one in the second half. I thought he was going to outsprint Saliba, but Saliba has a brilliant recovery tackle, and he just shepherded up, just got a foot on the ball. But apart from that, George, Zinchenko had no such threat on his side.
Here's another problem that I've come on here moaning and saying we didn't play very well. But I can't think of anybody who had a bad game.
Yes.
None of the players had a bad game. They were all right. They were all decent.
Not even Kai?
Well, all right, yeah. All right. Havertz didn't have a very good game.
Yeah.
But
what about Vieira?
That said, for him,
George?
Well, you're not going to judge him on the 10 minutes he was on the field. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? That nobody had a particularly bad game. Everybody played all right, but the team only played all right. You'd have thought if everybody has a decent game, which they did, Saliba was good, Gabriel Mangalis was good, Zinchenko good, Tommy Asu was good, Jorginho I thought was really
decent. Decent, George. Tommy Asu was decent. Yeah. He was not he's not an overlapping left back. And
No.
his crossing was not very good either. He would come back inside
no.
on his poor leg.
So Jorginho was all right. I thought he had a good game. Declan Rice was good.
Yeah.
Saka and Martinelli, decent games. Trossard, an excellent game. So everybody's done all right.
Yes.
You would have expected us to play better as a team, given that there was nobody that you could point to as a weakness. So do you know what I'm saying? That's something wrong. Like, if you have all the ingredients, good ingredients to bake a cake, and when it's baked, it's just, that was all right. You've not baked the cake very well, have you? There's something wrong, and it's the chef. It's not the ingredients.
Yeah.
So Arteta has cooked a bit of a shitty cake at the moment, and he needs to find an ingredient that'll perk it up and make it mouth-wateringly delicious.
He's not that kind of coach, do you think, audience? Do you think he's that kind of coach? I do. Watch Arteta. I'm not convinced Arteta is really committed to attacking. And what do you think?
Well, no, I don't think so either. But I think he is committed to results, and I think I think that'll do for him. He just wants to win.
Right.
Arsene wanted to win in style. Yeah. Arteta, I don't think he gives a fuck how we win, as long as we win. Yes. And that's a good mentality to have, I suppose. But it doesn't make for good watching, does it? You know, doesn't get you out of your seat. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like.
So who's your man of the match, George? Because I have to feature somebody.
Man of the match, I'm going to go for Trossard.
Well, you and I are. You're helping me because I am more inclined to Trossard, and I have all. This is an eye test. We might be all wrong. Audience, you put in your 2 cents when you get the chance. And by the way, guys, I am happy we have like record comments, George, and record viewership. I don't know what the heck we did last time around. Maybe it's the Newcastle controversy, but we want to thank the audience.
I think half of our viewers were Newcastle fans.
Yes, they were. They came on board cursing us. Well, I mean, there's so much competition among Arsenal podcasters, but we're trying to be balanced, we're not cheerleaders. We're not cheerleaders, George. Would you say that?
No, we're not cheerleaders, but I feel like this whole podcast has come over a bit miserable today.
Yes.
Given that we're sitting second in the league and we've fucking won. But,
and the second for international break, George. I mean, it makes you don't have to be worrying,
Maybe we should be cheerleaders. I'll send you some pom-poms across.
George, I was thinking of wearing, but I don't have any. Anyway, I have on my Arsenal shirt. I need to get. I might have to, refresh my collection for give myself a present. Anyway, guys, it was nice, George. Nice to go this season second in the table. I'm gonna watch City Chelsea. I don't know about you in a few. See if your analysis is on spot. It should be, Chelsea's not been playing well. They come on a little bit.
No, butcher them.
Pardon?
City will butcher them.
Well, let's see. But it's good to be in second place. It's also good to win. But guys, let us just get away with the cheerleading. We're gonna need something extra because this is not even the business end. This is the first 12 games of the season. Then the drudgery of winter and then the home stretch. So it's a long way to go. But you need to be setting foundations. We have a foundation of winning games, but not in style. Any final words from you, George?
No, I'm sorry for bringing everybody down.
I think that the audience loves our honesty. I might not agree with us, but thanks, guys. We'll see you after the international break. Definitely, I'll be traveling for Thanksgiving, but I will United States Thanksgiving. but I'll try very, very hard to connect with George. Keep on viewing, keep on subscribing until we meet again. Bye.
Bye.